Welcome to CEO Money. I'm Michael Yorba. I have Olenka Cullinan with me right now today, and it's I Start First. Olenka, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
I'm glad you are too. All right, now you're working with millennials, and I want you to express to our audience why it's so important for any industry to work with them.
Well, whether anybody likes that or not, first of all, I think millennials are misjudged quite a bit. Not all of us live in our parents' basements and eat avocado toast daily. But most importantly, millennials are going to inherit the largest transfer of wealth of previous generation. And one of the things that's most important about millennials is the fact that they're very brand loyal. So if you get them on board now, they will stay with your brand forever. So any industry needs to understand that. So if they want to attract them now, while they may not be at the peak of their careers, at the peak of their financial state, at the peak of their, whatever they're trying to accomplish in their lives, if they adopt your brand, if they believe in you and your organization right now, they'll be with you forever.
How do men and women lead, invest, and do business differently with millennials relative to the other types of people that they have to do business with no matter what?
Well, I think both, doing business with millennials in general for anybody should be quite a bit different. They're not necessarily motivated by authority. So a lot of times I think older generation has trouble and sort of difficulty with that because millennials don't necessarily base anything on experience. They base things more so on, relationships. Can we relate to that person? Can we see that, with women especially, I think millennials hate being mommed. And I don't even know any other term to use, but like you don't need to mom them. And you also need to accept the fact that, they're born into digital generation. They're part of technology. So if you want to do business with them, technology should be a huge part of what you do. And, they definitely relate to that better. And they're very open. They're not closed. Offices don't inspire them. Having a corner office with a window is not what they're striving for. So they're much more open on social media about their lives. They're much more even open about their money. I talk to financial organizations all the time about that. They don't have an issue being in a group. A lot of times they are more comfortable discussing their finances in a group and getting opinions from different people. They love virtual environments. So if you can host coffee meets, online coffee cup is working great for millennials. So yeah, when you're doing business, you just need to be aware of these differences and how much more freedom driven they are, especially in finance.
What's the idea behind I Start First Boss Babies boot camps?
Well, the I Start First really started with a hashtag because I watched, not enough women being leaders in any industry. And I just didn't believe that we don't have women who can perform at a higher level. It's no secret that they definitely underperform in comparison with men financially. And especially when you go to that higher threshold, in CEO and C-level executives, it's definitely quite a bit more male dominated. So I wanted to create a platform, essentially a movement for women to start playing in those higher arenas to showcase a very different type of leadership. So I created I Start First, and we created the boot camps because if we have boot camps for diets and exercise, I couldn't see a reason why we couldn't have boot camps for business and finance. And that's essentially what Boss Babes boot camps are all about. It's a 30-day online challenge where women go in, set up a goal for their finances and their business, and the goal is obviously to hit it and surpass it.
I've noticed in different generations that up till now, there's really been a male-dominated society almost across the board. Do you see that continuing in the millennial generation, or is it going to be more dispersed and more evenly, the power plays evenly placed?
I think it's definitely going to change. I'm already starting to see the change now, just being in the business and entrepreneurial arena. I definitely think millennial women, there is this huge drive right now for them. they see a lot of, other women striving. And because millennials are so good about being diverse with what they do, they're not afraid to have a corporate job and a side hustle. I definitely think the power play is going to change quite a bit, and it's definitely going to start becoming more even. I mean, we still have a lot of work to do, but I definitely see a huge drive for young women in millennial generation to start positioning themselves as leaders and forward thinkers, and being at a much higher and more equal position with men.
All right. You started off talking about the financial side of this. So, boss baby power to the financial arena is a topic I wanted to bring up. Give us, because it's more than just figuring out how to create a retirement plan when you get into the financial world. I mean, there's trading, there's all kinds of financial modeling that goes on, whether it's for your personal alpha in your account, or it's starting a business and creating the modeling for that and the various facets of revenue streams for your business. Is that where you're driving with your company?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, in general, and I've watched that, I've been a venture mentor for a while to startups, and I've watched this happen across the board. Really, it's like 15 to 50 with women, where they're a lot more shy with money and dealing with funding, especially when it comes to like higher level funding. A lot of them won't work with investors. A lot of them will stay away from investments altogether. And so, yeah, my drive is definitely opening their eyes to the fact that, yeah, it's not about retirement plan. It's not just about savings account. And that's honestly, a lot of women pretty much live in that little box of, retirement and savings account. So my goal is to definitely open their eyes how much more is out there, and at least have them educated. Whether you choose to adapt it for your personal reasons or your business reasons is one thing, but at least know what's available to you is where I drive from.
Okay, what's next?
I definitely want Boss Babes, that I start first. It's semi-global right now. We have participants from a couple different countries. I want to launch it all across the states. So we have about 10 states participating right now. My goal is to expand that. And the next thing will be, the events that I run. It's called I Start First Boss Babe Summit, is to launch the hubs for I Start First in different cities.
Okay, first summit coming up when?
December 1st, 2018 is the next summit. It's in Phoenix, Arizona. It's a one-day fully transformational event. We take a very holistic approach to what a woman leader should look like of the new generation. And it's everything from finances to understanding marketing, to understanding what your brand is, to understanding who you are, if you want to be, because I think a lot of older generation women lead with a notion of being an alpha woman. And I lead with a notion of being a sparkle woman, meaning that you're not just on a pedestal and nobody can talk to you, but with the move that collaboration always prevails over competition. And as a new leader, you want to be forward where other women are drawn to you to ask questions, not just admire you from afar.
Right, and one of the other things that I've noticed is that the millennial mantra is um, not to lead with negatives, to always lead with positives, because that's almost a metaphysical law. To bring positive to yourself, you have to always give out positive. Is that one of the mantras within this?
Yes, absolutely. 100%. You are what you attract what you are, right?
Mhm.
It's not, I talk, especially with women. Women are driven by emotions. So I talk to them a lot about this. I tell them, it's not your actions a lot of times that drive your business, but your emotions. So if you keep your emotions in check and you project the right type of positivity and excitement and being, in a good place internally, you're going to start attracting very similar things and people into your lives.
I wanted to make sure we got that out. Olenka, thanks so much for being a guest on the show today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. Love it. Have an amazing day and sparkle up.
I will. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. All right, you've been watching CEO Money with Michael Yorba. Don't forget, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.